Welcome back, Hive Mind. This is Shalazar with Hive Mind Gaming, coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're going to look at the update highlights for patch 4.40. All right, let's see. This is my first real live reaction to this. I haven't read any of this. I did scroll down to look at some of the art, which looks freaking cool. Almost cursed there. It was so good. All right, so let's get into it. It looks like we've got some champions coming out, and we've got a few quality of life changes, it says. All right, so let's take a look. First off, the Grim. He's going to be the Fragment fusion. His thumbnail looks pretty cool, but his art looks really good too, so we've all seen that. Affinity HP for the Knight's Revenant. Let's see, we already read his abilities, but for those that didn't see any of the other content creators or my video on this guy, his A1 is Stern Admonishing. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. I was really hoping that would book up. It looks like it didn't though. Wow, it's only damage on his A1. Also places shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 10% of their max HP. Well, he is HP champion, so hopefully that shield's going to be pretty big. Alright, his A2 is Reign of Sorrow. Attacks all enemy, places an extra hit on enemies under stun, freeze, fear, true fear, and provoke debuffs. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. It does book down to a 3-turn cooldown. And let's see, it does book to 100% chance, so that's good. Let's see, his A3 quality minions places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. That books down to a 3-turn. All right, and then his passive, when hit, has a 20% chance of placing a provoke debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Occurs once per turn. So this is going to be our fusion champ. He's not any of the dwarfs that we've recently got, because both of those guys are pretty darn good. His aura is increase ally HP in all battles by 33%. All right, next one. Oh, I love this art. I love it, man. I can't wait to see what this character looks like. My guess, this is just my guess, it's gonna have the body like Fane and just have the eagle head, and that would suck. But I'm hoping they do really good with this champ. Let's see, Cleopteryx. I got no idea. Legendary Spirit attack. Skinwalkers love it. I wish they did this one. I don't even know what this one does, but I wish they did this one as the fusion, because Skinwalkers need so much help and they have such crappy champions. This would help anyone in Faction Wars. Haven't even read the abilities yet. I can tell you it's probably going to help in Faction Wars. I mean, because Skinwalkers have crap for Faction Wars. Alright, so the A1, Death Dive. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Wow, on the A1. And that books up to a 50% chance. The chance increases to 50% if the target is under a hex debuff. Oh, okay, so it would be 30%, that books up to 50%, or increases to 50%, which books up to 70% chance if under a hex debuff. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy under a hex debuff. I mean, lots of qualifiers here, so I'm not sure if I like that. And I guess I was wrong, guys. There's no one in this faction that does hex, so Faction Wars might not be helpful with this, or this character might not be helpful in Faction Wars, other than just DPS, I guess. Let's see, Feather Barrage. Oh, that's cool. I hope they do something cool with that. Places a 30% increased crit rate buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. has a 75% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 2 turns on targets under Hex debuff. Oh, man, that would have been so good if it wasn't a qualifier for Hex. It's on a 4-turn cooldown that books down to a 3-turn. And let's see, that 75% chance books up to 100% chance. Wow, that would be so good if it didn't have a qualifier, Hex qualifier. All right, A3 Sky Punishment places a 50% increase accuracy buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Wow, that's not bad. Has a 75% chance. It books up to a 80 or 100% chance of placing a Hex debuff for 3 turns. Okay, so 3 turns even. All right. Has a 100% chance of placing a Fear debuff for 1 turn instead on enemies under Hex debuff. So if they already have Hex, then there's a 100% chance to put a Fear. Wow, that's not bad. That's not bad for 3 turns. Wow. Okay, and that's on a 5-turn cooldown that books down to a 4. Well, that kind of sucks. I wish that it would have dropped that down to 3. Or a 4-turn cooldown that drops down to a 3, but whatever. In 13 books it's pushing that extra, it's pushing that heavy-ended books. Let's see. Passive counter attacks with the default skill every time this champion loses 30% HP or more in a single turn. Always counterattacks when attacked if 2 or more allies are dead. Oh wow, so it always attacks if 2 allies are dead. Wonder how viable she'll be for farming. I'm not sure. All right, let's see. Next. Oh, she looks cool. Yeah, she looks cool. All right, Tuhanarak. Legendary Void support Barbarians. Okay, Barbarians getting some love. Sun's Kiss is her A1. Attacks 1 enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. That books up to 50% chance. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn. Also places a 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP. Okay. All right. And then her A2, Radiant Suffering. Attacks 1 enemy, has a 75% chance, that books up to 100% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff and a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Also applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies on a 4-turn cooldown and books down to a 3-turn cooldown. Ooh, interesting. That might be fun to play with. I think her and Vizier might be the only ones with that ability. Maybe a couple others, but they're champs that no one really uses, though. All right, let's see. Desert Fitness places a 60% increased defense buff and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's on a 5-turn cooldown that books down to a 3-turn cooldown. So 11 books, not horrible. All right, her passive removes 1 random debuff from all allies at the start of each turn. Nice. Oh, really cool. That's just like Doom Priest. And then removes 2 random debuffs instead from allies under continuous heal buffs. Nice. I really like that. That is cool. So she is a Barbarian Doom Priest on crack. Fantastic. And her aura increases ally accuracy in all battles by 70%. Wow. That's awesome. That's gonna be really good for Doom Tower. really good for Doom Tower and Faction Wars and just general content. Yeah, so anywhere you would use Doom Priest, she could step in and be even better. Wow, very cool. Very strong, very strong. All right. Pharsalis Grave Dirt. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Interesting look with the helmet that's covering the eyes. He's an epic magic defense Knight's Revenant. All right, Grasp of the Grave attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, places a 50% decrease attack debuff for 1 turn if the target is under a fear or true fear debuff. Okay, all right. I mean, decreased attack on the A1 with the caveat that has to be a fear or true fear. So not get and a provoke on the A1. So this is definitely not a boss champ. The 20% chance placing a provoke books up to a 40% chance. All right, Necrosis attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance that books up to 100% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Okay, interesting. All right, that's on a 4-turn cooldown that books down to a 3-turn cooldown. So I mean that would be good against the Fire Knight, but his A1 sucks against the Fire Knight. If it was a 2-hitter, maybe. But anyway, let's see what the rest of his kit looks like. Coffin Bulwark places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 30% of their max HP. Wow, 30% max HP is good. Also places a 15% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 5-turn cooldown that books down to 3. So that A3 is not bad. That A3 is not bad at all, especially for an epic. And then his passive Unhinged, immune to fear and true fear debuffs. Okay, cool. Whenever an ally's HP drops below 50% from an enemy attack, has a 50% chance of placing a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Man, too bad that's not like a shield or something. I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, and it'd be good in arena. I mean, obviously this dude's an arena champ, because he's not even going to be good against the waves, really. I guess he could with the shield and strength. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's definitely screaming arena champ to me, though. Whenever an ally dies, has a 75% chance of placing a true fear debuff on all enemies. Now, actually, you know, that might not be bad in Spider. That might not be bad in Spider, because placing true fear on every Spiderling would be really good. All right, increase ally defense in faction crypts by 30%. Yeah, I don't know how good he would be in faction crypts other than that A3. Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. All right, Venomage. Oh, that is some sexy art right there. I hope it's got a snake body. Please tell me it's got a snake body. All right, epic magic support Lizardman, fantastic. Toxicity attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases the target's max HP by 75% of the damage inflicted if they are under a heal reduction debuff. That is huge. That is huge. Each hit also has a 35%, which books up to a 50% chance of instantly activating up to 2 poison debuffs on the target. So it's like a poison explosion. It's like a weak sauce poison explosion, but this is an epic, guys. So, and it's magic, so it's not going to be as hard to get this champ as it would be a Zavia or the other poison exploders. Of course, there is another epic poison exploder as well. So, but I mean, on the A1 is pretty darn good. All right. A2, Neurotoxin. Attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance, it books up to 100% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns if the target is under a poison debuff. Okay, and that's on a 4-turn cooldown that books down to a 3. The A3, Flesh Melter Venom. Wow. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, that books up to 100% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 3 turns. Wow, for 3 turns, nice. Also has a 75% chance, books up to 100% chance of placing 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns. That's on a 4-turn cooldown that books down to a 3. So it sucks that its only poison is on the A3. That's on a 3-turn cooldown fully booked. That kind of sucks. That means to really get this going, it's gonna need to be with another poisoner probably, unless you're just running it in dragon. I don't know why I'm trying to make it a female. All right, its passive, Pain Wraith. Enemies under heal reduction debuffs inflict 15% less damage. Guys, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. 15% less damage if they have the heal reduction, and it's putting it on for 3 turns. That's good. That's great. And if it's fully booked, keep it on the whole time. All right, increase ally accuracy in all battles by 45%. I mean, this ship's going to be fun to play with. I mean, that is definitely a Fire Knight. Hits twice on the A1, places poisons, places decrease accuracy, decrease attack, and decrease defense, heal reduction, which is good on Fire Knight, and then 15% less damage for all your friends. When you have that heal reduction up, yeah, that's going to be a fun champ to play with. All right, miscellaneous. Summon Gomlock Skyhide from Fragments. Will be moved to part 7 of progress missions. Okay, all right. I don't think I know who that is, but okay. Void shards will receive summon ×10 option in the summon portal. That's awesome. Wow, that's going to save so much time. Holy crap. That's great. This is probably the best part about this patch, actually. All right, tapping the sell button in the artifact storage will no longer add the selected artifact or accessory to the list of items you wish to sell. This change should help players avoid selling artifacts by accident. Show of hands, how many people have sold stuff they did not want to sell? I know I have. I know my hand's raised. All right, so that's a good change. That's a really good change. Now, I've just trained myself to click off of all artifacts or go through them. Like if I got like 10 artifacts I just got from one of the bosses and start going through them, I'll go through them until I get to one I want to sell, and then that's when I turn the sell button on, and then I go through each one after that with the sell button on. So I just trained myself to do that. So that might get annoying to retrain myself a different way. Let's see. Even players who are not part of a clan will be able to view information about the clan boss, difficulties, and rewards. Well, that should have been a thing already. I mean, you should be able to see what you're getting yourself into before you join the clan, a clan. So, but anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these new champs, and what champs you're looking forward to getting your hands on, because some of these are really good. It sucks that like they're all legendaries except, well, I mean, 3 legendaries, 2 epics is not bad, not horrible. So, but either way, guys, that's it for this video. It wasn't going to be a long one today. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, hit the like button and join the Hive by hitting the subscribe button, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.